Christmas, World War II patriotic Abraham Lincoln white hair. He's got white hair. I didn't even notice that when I picked that out. A white-haired Abraham Lincoln, $25. Welcome back to some postcards. Today we're going to talk about Abraham Lincoln postcards. Now, if you've been following the channel, you know I live just south of, about 60 miles straight south of Chicago. And Lincoln, we're the land of Lincoln in Illinois, where Abraham Lincoln has a historical site down by Springfield. It's about 2 to 3 hours southwest of me. It's just northwest of Springfield is New Salem. And when we were in school, we took many field trips down there, probably, I don't know how many, went down there a couple times for sure. But that Springfield is the state capital, so it's on the southwest of me, about 2 to 3 hours. So we know a little bit about Abraham Lincoln. We hear it a lot about that. But there's postcards for Abraham Lincoln. He was the president and very famous. And there's just a lot of postcards. So I wanted to dig into just Abraham Lincoln and find out, do they sell, what prices they go for, what to look for, and some history about Abraham Lincoln. So we'll get into that. But first I'm going to show you what I sold on eBay. I got 13 cards I sold. I sold one card that I've had in there probably a couple of years. I bought a batch of them for a video and stuff, and I put some of them up, and I think I sold one or two, but I haven't sold one in a long time, and I sold it. So I'll show you that. Then I got a poll. What is your biggest source of postcards? I hear all the time, I can't find postcards, I can't find postcards. So I put a poll out there. What's the biggest source? Where to find it? I'll tell you what mine. Then I got some viewer comments. At the end of the videos, I always talk about, pull some comments from YouTube or email, and one of them is about stores. Do I need to have different stores if I sell different items? I hear that a lot from other resellers. So I'll give you my opinion on that statement and stuff. But first I wanted to show you what Kevin, the postcard guy, sent me in the mail. He sent a new sticker for the board. That's Kevin right there. But his channel, he has a YouTube channel. He does a lot of real photo postcards, been doing this for a long time. And he has a full-time job and he resells and stuff like that. And I meet up with him every time I go to, the last couple of years, we go down to Florida, and that's where he lives. We meet up for lunch one of the days and I'm down there. But check out his channel, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the board, Kevin. So this is the board. And I keep all the stickers from all different resellers. I got a whole bunch of them. Let's see. Got Kevin's card, we got eBay, we got Death Pile Picker, Nashville Pickers, Matt. What is that? ABC Matt. We got Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, Daily Cabbage, In a Box in the Garage, Bill, Cincinnati Picker, the Mermaid up there. We just got a lot of them, and mine. So I'm going to go ahead and put Kevin's on here. Let me peel this off, and we'll stick Kevin on the board with a big sticker. This is a nice sticker Kevin's made real well. So I'm going to put Kevin right here. So he goes there. So Kevin, you got the center stage right in the middle. But if anybody's got any stickers they want me to put out there, and I'll leave this up here if you want to pause it and take a look at who's all on the board. But I thought I would do that because when I went to the reseller rally in Cincinnati a year or so ago, a lot of people had stickers, and I said, well, I got all these stickers, I need to get them out there. So if you got a sticker, send it in. I'll put my address right here in the corner, but if you look in the video description, you'll see my P.O. box you can send it to. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Let's get going on what I sold. Get this video going. So 13 cards. The first one I just talked about, I sold it for $12.85. And it's, guess what type of hat that is? That's called a Merry Widow hat. And I did a video a long time ago, I couldn't tell you when I did it, but it's been out there for a while, about Merry Widow hats and what they were. They're not about widows. It was a fashion thing for a while. And it's that hat right up there. So if you watch that video, you'll learn a little bit about these cards. Are these fast movers? Heck no. They don't sell that fast, but when they sell, they get, you know, $12 for them. I got $12.85 for this one. It's just different on there. So it's $12.85. Then I sold this baseball stadium Polo Grounds, New York City, for $5.95. It's a linen card, unposted on there. It's a linen. So that's sold for $5.95. Then I sold Upper Main Street, Catskill, New York. When I sold this, I was sitting there, I looked on the side, you can see it in the sale, I got like 8 of these left. So I went over to the box and I counted them, because I don't remember putting 8 of these, but there's 8 of these cards in my store that I got in there, and it's a linen card, sold for $4.95. This Navy ship, U.S. Fort Fisher, LSD 40, support from sea to shore. Nice looking publisher card, Navy, probably a Navy photo, unposted. I got a bunch of those left, $4.95. This is the USS Mount Vernon. Now, Mount Vernon postcards I don't list anymore, pretty much. They just don't sell. And this is the Mount Vernon underway for Brest, and she was torpedoed September 5th, 1918. So she was there. It's on thicker cardstock, the club did. And that's just on the back. That's the USS Mount Vernon. That sold for $4.95. Here's a chrome card. Arrowview State House Government Center, Boston, Massachusetts. Different type of view card. It's a chrome card, unposted, $4.95. This ship, naval ship, is USS Coral Sea, CBA 43. It's on the lighter cardstock, matte on front, matte on back, and this sold for $4.95. Next one was the title was Oil Painting, and I got 3 of these cards. I got 2 left. It's sold for $5.15. Heading Home. It's a reproduction of an original oil painting by Lauren Percy. Nice looking card. It looked nice framed or something for Christmas. And there, the unposted chrome card. It's on a little bit of a lighter cardstock. I can feel the looseness on it. $4.95. Sold a motel, James K. Polk Motel, Columbia, Tennessee. Just one of those regular hotel ones. Posted 1964. On there. Motel, $4.95. This is, I haven't written a while. It's like a correspondence card, is what I call them. I call these correspondence card. They have a little view of something here, and they have a checklist. You can just check and send it in the mail. So it's called, I call them correspondence cards. $4.95. Colonial Court, Perry Grove. Looks like a little motel, and 1941 it was posted. Linen card. $4.95. Here's another naval ship, USS Lloyd Thomas, DD 764. Nice little naval ship on there, unposted. I got a lot of those left in the boxes. $4.95. During the holidays, I did sell a lot of cards. I think they buy them for their family or remembrance and stuff like that. So, but Navy ships for me, I got thousands of them. I bought that big collection. That's why they sell for me, is I just got a ton of them. And I don't mess with the Google search. I don't do the and then sell similar and all that stuff to break all those links in Google. So if you put in USS Lloyd Thomas postcard, you're probably going to get me up on the first page or so on there. Church of Christ Congregational, Milford, Connecticut. Church. Linen card. $4.95. So that was 13 cards. Total dollars was $79.46 is gross. I don't on the videos show all the net stuff because it'd be too crazy. So $79.46, basically $80. Take $79.46 divided by 13, I get an average sale price of $6.11 gross per card. My goal for 2025, and with the year I'm a little ahead on postcards, so I got to remember what I'm talking about here when I do the video. $80 a day. I want to raise my ASP, be strict on kind of postcards I still buy. I want to be very picky about them since I got so many. And one of the things this year, I want to raise my profit percent. So I want to keep my expenses low. Be very picky about spending. If it's not a need and just a want, it's not going to happen in 2025. I'm going to be a miser. I'm going to stick this money in the bank. And yeah, I might have to pay some taxes on it, quarterly or end of the year. But I need to rebuild stuff. I did a lot of stuff last year. New computers, a lot of new equipment, and bought a lot of postcards and stuff like that. This year I just want to sit back and coast. I got some other things going on that'll bring more income into another side of the business and stuff like that. So that's what I want to do, is kind of just fill the coffers back up, get it to back where I feel more comfortable than I am now, even though I have enough emergency funds and funds to do whatever I want with postcards. I just want a little bit more. Everybody wants a little bit more. But that's what's sold. Now let's talk about Abraham Lincoln postcards. I got 3 or 4 paragraphs here. I got 3 facts on Abraham Lincoln I'll go through, and while I do that, I'm going to show you some postcards that I found of Abraham Lincoln. And you've probably been doing postcards, you've probably seen some of these. Do they sell? We're going to see. And I'll give you my opinion, my experience with them. Here we go. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 in a small cabin in Kentucky. Now there's postcards of that cabin also. And there was a cabin in Springfield or New Salem, so you got 2 different postcards I see a lot. He grew up in a poor family, and life was tough for him as a child. He had to help his parents with chores like chopping wood and planting crops. Even though there weren't many schools where he lived, young Abraham loved to read and learn. He would borrow books from neighbors and teach himself whenever he could. As Lincoln grew older, he became interested in helping people. He believed that everyone should be treated fairly and have equal rights. This belief led him to enter politics, and eventually became the 16th President of the United States in 1861. During his presidency, the country was divided over the issue of slavery, North and South, which was a practice that forced people to work without pay and without freedom. Lincoln is most famous for leading the country through the Civil War, a conflict between the northern and southern states over slavery and other issues. He worked hard to keep the country united and also helped free millions of enslaved people with Emancipation Proclamation. I can't believe I said that correctly. Sadly, he was assassinated in 1865, but he is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in American history for his courage and dedication to justice. Abraham Lincoln postcards became popular in the late 19th and 20th centuries as Americans sought ways to commemorate the 16th president. With the rise of postcard collecting during the golden age of postcards, Lincoln's image, which often depicting his famous bearded portrait on him, scenes from his life and Civil War events, appeared on widely circulated cards. So right there it tells you there's a ton of these out there. These postcards served as both a way to honor Lincoln's legacy and as a keepsake for tourists visiting historical sites like his birthplace or memorial. Today they remain a collectible item symbolizing Lincoln's enduring influence in American culture. You can go even deeper with Abraham Lincoln and stuff, and his wife and his kids and just things he did. But I got 3 facts here about Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's body was stolen. In 1876, a gang of counterfeiters tried to steal Lincoln's corpse from his tomb in Springfield, Illinois. They wanted to ransom it for $200,000 and the release of one of their jailed members. The plan was foiled, and Lincoln's body was reburied in a secret grave surrounded by concrete. So they wanted to steal the president. He was a professional wrestler. Before his political career, Lincoln had a reputation as a fierce wrestler. He only lost 1 match out of around 300. His wrestling prowess earned him a spot in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. He can scrap. He had a patent for a weird invention. Lincoln is the only U.S. president to hold a patent. His invention was for a bizarre contraption meant to lift boats over shallow water using inflatable bladders. Although it was patented, it was never built. So he had a patent, and he was a scrapper, and he got stolen when he died, almost. So just some facts about Abraham Lincoln. you can, like I said, go a lot deeper with all this stuff. I just gave you a little bit to get your curiosity up, have a foundation to start with, and you can grow with it. But does Abraham Lincoln sell? Postcards sell? Two things I look at. I look at sell-through rate. How many cards are moving? What's the volume of cards moving through? That's sell-through rate to me. And then what prices do they bring? Are they higher price ones or lower? But I use this little chart here and just real quick go through it. If the sell-through rate calculation is 0 to 3% low, I try not to pick those up. I do get them in lots, but they don't sell as fast as the other ones. I work between the 4 and 10%, the light green and the lighter other green. That's where I work, and while I do that, I usually find the top ones, those real good cards everybody tries to find. So if you focus on just the average cards and try to stay away from the low, you're going to find some of the high ones. Not everybody can catch everything. So as I go through this, keep an eye on this chart I leave right up here. All I do is I go out to eBay, right in the search, I put postcard Abraham Lincoln. There was 547 sold in the last 90 days, and there's 11,000 listed. You take that number, 547, divide by 11,000, and times it by 100, you're going to get a percent. You round up or down to make it a whole percent. This comes out to be 5%. 5% sell-through rate in the last 90 days falls in the average. So this is an average card. Will I pick them up? Most presidents I do. It just depends. If I see a whole box of Abraham Lincoln, I'm not going to pay top dollar for them because they're an average card. They sit and stuff like that. But they are ones I will pick up. Do I actually source them? No. But when I do see them, I'm not going to just pick one out. They mostly come in lots. There is some different embossed ones and stuff. If they're unique, I'll definitely pick them up. But you got to make sure that 5% is good. So you go out there and you bump it up against a few other things. So we got Abraham Lincoln at 5%. Then I just put President, Postcard President, 4%. So it's still average. George Washington, 4%, and Thomas Jefferson, 4%. So old Abe is a little higher than those two. So 4%, it falls right in there. So I feel the sell-through rate is solid. I'm done with it. I know it's an average card. It's going to sit. I'm not going to pay top dollar, and it's going to go. Now you always have the outliers, the real photo postcards and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. These are normal cards, and this is a probability that it'll sell over others. No guarantee. But it just gives me data instead of just a gut feeling like this is a cool card. How many times have you done that? Oh, this is a really neat card. And you go out and you get it home and it's only a $4 to $5 card and it just sits there. And you thought it was cool. So this helps bring data in. But then you got to look at the pricing. Just what kind of price is it worth my time to really look at these? So I picked out 7 cards going from high to low to show you the spread across. Now this one here was a graded card. Abraham Lincoln 1900s Presidents graded SGC 4 rare. $250 is what they got for that, a graded postcard. So it must, and it's only an SGC 4. Is 10 the highest on those? And they got $250. So there is some outliers out there. Then the next one is a Christmas World War II patriotic Abraham Lincoln white hair. He's got white hair. I didn't even notice that when I picked that out. A white-haired Abraham Lincoln, $25. So that was probably a key thing, as white hair. I don't think I remember seeing a white-haired Abraham Lincoln. Then here's one of those medium or heavier embossed ones. I see a lot of these. These are ones that I will go. If you get these heavy embossed ones for your scanner, sometimes you just got to give it a push through the scanner and it should go. If not, use your camera on your phone or whatever to get a picture of it. But this is the U.S. States President Abraham Lincoln embossed, 1909, $20. And you see we're going down. Then you got Lincoln's bedroom, Lincoln's home in Springfield, $10. That's a little high for that one. I've got those up as just average price. That's a good price, and that just sold in October 18th. There's a lot of those touristy cards of that, and that's a good price. $10 for that. Then here's one of those patriotic cards, like a series. I've seen a lot of these when he's doing the slavery thing, Civil War. $9. Then postcard for Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis, Civil War presidents. So here's two presidents on there. They could almost be brothers if you look at them. $9.09 got for that one. That's a neat postcard. And here's another one of those patriotic ones, I call it. Antique 1911 Abraham Lincoln inauguration embossed postcard. So this got a little embossed on it too. But that was in an auction, and it went for $325 with 2 bids. So the prices went from $250 graded one all the way down to $3. So if you're trying to compete with prices on postcards, there's 11 or 12 million postcards out there. It's an uphill battle. You're going to wear yourself out. Yeah, you want to find out if it's above average pricing and stuff like that. I look at $12.75 and above. Tells me that there's more to it. I want to take a special look on it. But pricing isn't everything. You want to be careful. Don't race to the bottom and don't chase after all this stuff. It could be just this one person looking for a school project and they just got it real quick. Or it's something special. You just got to take a look at them. That's Abraham Lincoln. Hope it helped. I'll pick them up, but I'm not going to pay top dollar for them. Even though some of the prices here show a little higher, a lot of them don't sell. They just sit and they're lower priced. That's my opinion on the experience I've had with a lot of them. Who knew? Now this is the poll. I put it out there because I got a lot of emails. Where do you find cards? How do you find so many cards and stuff like that? I pick them up all over the place. And I put the poll out there. I said, what is your biggest source of postcard inventory? Because I wanted to find out what people find these postcards, maybe help other ones too. The highest answer here that they picked was online auctions and bulk buys. Usually buying a collection. Someone passed away, a estate, or someone wants to get out of it, they'll sell all their postcards. Or auctions, usually estates, is where I pick those up. But 76% said that's where they get them. The next one was local flea markets and antique shops. You will pay up at the antique shops, but a lot of times you can get pretty good cards. And if you go in and buy some, they usually bring more back in. But you will normally end up paying double what you normally would. And then flea markets, they're just sitting on the table. Ask every vendor you walk to, ask every garage sale you walk to if you have any postcards. Oh yeah, I got some in the house. I find them that way. Then inherited collections or personal finds. And Philip inherited some here, you'll see in the comments. I'm getting a lot of collections coming out of people's homes because people are passing away. It's a bad thing, but a good thing is we're getting a lot of these cards that have never seen eBay, never been online. They've been in collections and we're getting a lot of great cards out there. And then the other was too. Where I buy most of my cards is where everybody else is, online auctions and bulk buys. I have people contact me all the time to buy postcards. People have come up and said, I got 100 postcards here I found in Aunt May's attic. Okay, what do you want for them? I want $400. That ain't gonna happen. 100 postcards, I'll give you 10 cents a piece. I'll give you 10, 20 bucks for them. Without even looking at them. But that includes shipping. So I'll give you 10 cents, whatever. But it depends. If it's a box of Hold the Light postcards, heck yeah, I'm gonna pay up on those. People that don't understand postcards are gonna do, and you're gonna see them on one of these comments here. Auctions are great, and I did a video about auctions and what to look for and stuff. I'll get a whole album for $10 or $20 sometimes, and it's got 500 postcards in there. And then next time I might have to pay, $75 for another one. But by the end of the night or end of the auctions, I average out less than 10 cents a card at auctions and stuff. And you usually find other stuff. They usually bundle other stuff together too. 3 comments here. One from Dr. Chris, Fossil Forward Finds. He says, I source mostly on Whatnot. That's another option. Go on Whatnot. I know Popeye does Saturdays, Tuesday and Saturdays. He used to do Tuesday and Saturdays. I haven't been on in a while. Saturdays, but he just goes whatever in the box and he flips through them. He shows you every card, and then people bid on it. And he does very well out there. And sure, he could get a lot more money by listing them on eBay or whatever sites he uses, but he likes doing Whatnot. He's very successful at it. So check out Popeye postcards on Whatnot. But he said he mainly sourced on Whatnot and eBay, but I did source over 1,000 postcards at a book fair. Ask if they have postcards. You go to a book fair, do you got any postcards? My friends are holding them until I can get to them. Yeah. Ask people, let people know let other people know what you do. And I get contacted all the time, or my wife get contacted. People got postcards. I have a couple out there, pickers that go out and they get storage lockers, and they'll find a box of postcards, and they'll call me. Hey, do you want these? Yeah, what do you want for them? $10. They don't want to deal with them. So they know they can get $10, $20 out of me for a box of postcards. That's how you do it. It's called networking. To get sourcing, you got to get it to come to you, and by letting people know what you do. Thanks, Dr. Kristen. The next one is from Nathan Bishop. Sourcing postcards is the hardest thing for me, since people want a high dollar for them everywhere I go. A lady on Marketplace is wanting $1,000 for 40 postcards. I won't even look at it. It doesn't even concern me. What people have no understanding what things are worth. Even a lot of postcard sellers will say, well, this is 100 years old. It's got to be worth $100. I don't even argue with them. I tell them what I would sell it for, and they 100% disagree with me every time. And I say, okay, go put it for $100. Then it doesn't sell, and I never hear from them again. But people don't know if they're not into it. So you can't change people. You can't educate the whole world. I'm not a martyr for eBay or whatever. People do what they want at garage sales. If they want to put eBay flyers on the tables and all that, that's fine. I'll still offer them a lower price. They're just trying to be a reseller that may be very, 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 very part-time. They just don't know. And you can try to educate them. It's like that. I don't even get into that unless they ask a specific question, because it's a lost cause. But they're out there. Just let people know, and you'll find them. There's billions of them out there. This is not a niche where you can't find inventory. I got lots in the Ko-Fi store for $35, and if you're a member, you get it 40% off. You can get these things pretty cheap with shipping. You sell 5 or 6 cards, it pretty well pays for it. I've had one guy found a Mark Twain card. He's probably watching the video. I think he sold it for $50. It was in there. I just pull whatever's in the box. I pull a box down and I count out 100. I usually add 10% more in case there's duplicates or whatever. There's your money right there. And people say, well, why do you do that? Because I have a lot of postcards I want to share. I just get it out there. I don't make a lot of money in Ko-Fi and on these lots. I could sell them on eBay and make a lot more money. But people are like, Nathan here is having a hard time finding some. You can buy 100 postcards from me for $35 plus shipping, but if you're a member, you get 40% off. It's a no-brainer. But you can go out and find them from other places. On eBay, look for lots. A lot of times, I don't buy on eBay that much anymore, big lots, because they've been picked through a lot of times. And Whatnot, I'll go. The Popeyes, he's had some good stuff I bought over the years. I just haven't sourced a lot of postcards in the last year because I was getting them at auctions and stuff, and I got so many. I'm trying to get down the back stock a little bit, but they will tend to grow your back stock. You can buy a box of 10,000 and all of a sudden it's got a ton of them. Thanks, Nathan. Then Philip says, smartest move I ever made in postcards was being the son of a postcard collector. I'm not for sure if you had a choice in that, but I know what you mean. And dealer inherited 60,000 cards for free. He's a genius. So that's what he said. Yes, inheriting postcards, they're out there. I'm telling you. Just keep looking, keep asking, and stuff like that. Marketplace and stuff like that. I tend to stay away from a lot of the online stuff, buying it, and I usually get it word of mouth or local auctions on there. Everybody's looking for stuff, and to me, it's been picked through. So that's the poll. Got any comments about how you source? If you're having a hard time, maybe other people can jump in and give you some tips on there. But they're out there, everywhere. They're out there, across the world. Guarantee it. Thanks. At the end of every video, I do viewer comments. I pull them from email and YouTube. Sometimes I paraphrase them because they're long emails and stuff. But here, I picked out 4 of them. 2 of them are from YouTube and 2 from emails. But the first one is Fossil Forward Finds, which is Dr. Chris. He's a doctor and studies dinosaurs and all that stuff. Bones. We've had some good conversations over time. He said he never heard of Billy before. That's the Billy Sunday video I just put out a little while ago, a couple months ago. He was an evangelist back in the early 1900s, and he was very loud and boisterous and stuff. He was a professional baseball player too, and I didn't know a lot about him. That's why I did the video. But he said, never heard of Billy before. Other than stained glass windows, I usually don't pick up religious cards unless they are mixed in with boxes of cards I'm buying. Yeah, about the same, Chris, with me. I don't buy a lot of them, but they tend to sell, but they don't sell for a lot of money. I still list them, I get them, I just find them slow and uninteresting to me. Yeah, it depends. A lot of the chrome ones of statues. Now churches I'll do, towns and cities and states, you know, the different churches, I'll always pick those up and put them up as long as you get the cities, the towns, the states, and the denomination of the church. But I saw QSR is better than religious cards. That says something there. But yeah, religious cards, there's just a lot of them, especially when you get into the foreign. There's just a lot of stuff like that out there. But I don't, I'm with you, Chris, I don't actually source them. I get them in lots and stuff. Thanks. Then Lisa said, oh my God, I've been meaning to download this on my to-do list. 27 pages off of research. If you haven't seen it, I put it out on community tabs a couple times. Every year I go through and I have a spreadsheet, and I do sell-through rate for a whole bunch of stuff. I do major cities, all the states, bunch of topics, basically any video I've done, holidays, and I just go through and I spend a week putting all that together, putting numbers in, and just going out there. Then I sort it in different ways, alphabetically, sell-through rate, highest, lowest, sold. So, and then I take the spreadsheet and I just put screenshots into a PDF document, and I put it out on Ko-Fi for everybody to view. This year was a little different. There's a little bit more red than I remember from the year before, in 2024. It looks like they're not moving as much, and that kind of tends to the sales we're having too. But I put it out there and it's free. I just do it for myself, and I put it out there, and I put it up at the beginning of every year. A little early this year, I was able to get it done, and it's free. It'll say pay what you want is how Ko-Fi works. You can put 0 there. And if you want to donate, it's always appreciated to help the channel. There is cost to Ko-Fi and all that stuff and doing all this stuff, but it's up to you. There's no limitations if you don't. But you can put 0 there, or you can put $1 there, whatever, and download it. And it's like she said, 27 pages. You just look through it. It's a good reference document, and it's free. It's something I do for everybody. I figured I did it myself. I might as well share. So go check that out, and the link's in the description for the Ko-Fi store. And there's other supplies and stuff like that in there that I have for postcards, resellers and stuff like that, sleeves, just different things, envelopes, all that stuff. And what it does is it helps support me to continue to keep putting these out there, even though I'd probably do it without, because I like doing these. Thanks, Lisa. Now these two are from emails. This one is, what things in 2025 are you changing in your reselling? Can you share? I think I've talked about it, but I don't have a list in front of me, my list. Some of the things I'm changing is I'm at 57,000 or so cards. I'm right at the edge of the 60,000 limit in the premium store. I'm not going to open another store. A lot of people try to talk me into it. No, I don't want to get any bigger. I'm at the level that I'm happy with. So I'm going through boxes and I'm ending listings out as I put new ones up. What I do with those cards, I lot them up. I've noticed there's some really good cards that I put up in 2019. So I take my oldest ones. These were some pretty good cards and stuff like that. And will I relist them? Some of them. And so I'm keeping what I list, I try to take out. So that way I'll just keep going. So I have a constant roll of inventory in there. The other thing is the goals. I want to raise my profit this year, be very, very picky about expenses. If it's not a real need, I'm not picking it up. I'm going to keep everything down to a nice level, just pack money away in 2025 and get more comfortable than I am now. and that's it. And I'm just happy with what I have. I'm not looking to be the top seller, and I want to be the bottom one, but 11 to 12 million postcards on eBay. I'm just a little fish in a big ocean. So there's not much on there. That's about all I'm going to do, and just continue to do what I do. But I cleaned up a lot of my technical stuff. My spreadsheets and all that has been refined. All my new computers, I got a new scale. All this stuff I've done over the last year is to get me through. Now I can coast. I'm to a point where it just counts as sales. If there's a couple days I don't get sales, I don't worry about it, because I have backup on there, and it comes. My expenses are so low on there. It doesn't really cause that much problems anymore, because I don't owe anybody. Everything is paid for. Everything you see is paid for. I don't carry debt in the business and postcards and being niched down like this, so I don't have to pay anything and stuff. And I pay the fees to eBay and stuff like that, but that's just part of doing the business. But I don't have any debt. Everything's paid for. I don't buy it unless I have the cash for it. Thanks. And then the next one is, I sell more than just postcards. Should I have 2 different eBay stores so stats do not get messed up on eBay? He went into the emails. He watches some other YouTubers. They said they should have 2 stores because the sell-through rate's going to be low on another than the other one. You're mixing stuff up. eBay doesn't like that. To me, it's just stuff made up. There's nothing out there saying that things sell because it's in a store. Stores are administratively helpful to sellers and easy for other people to browse, but it kind of is just a way to keep everything knit. If you got all these listings all over the place, a store, you can use a lot of tools and stuff like that in there. But I see no need to have 2 different stores. It's just a listing on eBay. eBay's you're not listing the store, you're listing the item. So I don't put any stock in the stuff that people make up without any data or what their feelings are. If you base your business on that and solely on that type of stuff and jumping all over the board, it is not sustainable, and you will fail. You'll be on your way to failure. It's just my experience of seeing people do stuff like that. It's not the right way to business. Trying to hack eBay and work all the little corners in eBay and stuff is not running a business. It's running you. Just find good stuff that sells and put it up for a good price, ship in 1 or 2 days, back all your stuff up. You get those basics done, you're going to sell stuff. You might not be the top seller, but you're going to make your margin if you price right. You're going to move stuff. You're going to get cash coming in. Another example of this is back when I did toys. I was a big toy seller. I had brand new stuff coming from distributors, pallets of the stuff, and I would find stuff, buy collections and stuff like that. So I had a lot of action figures is what I basically niched on. And I had postcards. The problem with postcards back then, we didn't have eBay standard envelope. So we had to ship with a stamp and a label. So we would pre-stamp there, put the stamp on, and then I had a Dymo label maker. I cut and paste the address every time I sold a postcard and put a label on it. And then I had, for my P.O. box return address, I had a stamp. So my granddaughter would sit here, and I'd get, every month I would buy $400, $500, $600 worth of stamps, rolls, and she would keep my stock. She would pre-stamp all those and put my return address on, and I would buy her a box of cupcakes. She's 8, 9, 10 years old, so she liked to sit down and do stuff like that. I can't wait till she can start listing, so get her straight on that, then I'll be golden. But we used to do that. The problem with that is my toys, my action figures, got tracking because I shipped them out with priority mail or first class mail back then. We didn't have ground advantage. So they always got a tracking number. Well, when I sold the postcard, if you're using a stamp and a label, no eBay standard envelope, there's no tracking. So it brought me down to above standard a lot because my metric was down. And that's why a lot of postcard sellers always had a separate store, because no tracking. If there was an issue with any of those cards you mailed out, you just had to refund. You had no backing because there was no tracking. At least on the eBay standard, we get a little bit better, and we have insurance for it. So I had a toy store and I had a postcard store. just for that reason. Well, then the eBay standard envelope came out. I combined everything, I got out, basically what happens, I got rid of, out of toys and closed that store down and just kept the postcards. But now I put lunch boxes and other things into the postcard store. I just put it in a category. It doesn't hurt. People don't buy by stores, they buy the item. So I don't know where, people just need to stop making stuff up and getting people go and do all different things, because if I had 2 premium stores, the first store I paid what, $600 to $700 a year for, $60 a month times 10, 600, 2 more, so $720, $750 a year. Now you just added another store you're paying, and then you add this, you add photo room, you add all this other stuff. You keep adding all these subscriptions. Pretty soon you're spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year to sell your $10 to $15 items. So you got to watch all those little things. And then a cross-listing app, you're on all these sites, you're paying all this stuff. I can't keep track of all that. I could, but I just don't want to. So just having one store is fine. Just put everything in there. Unless someone can find and show me data that by having lunch boxes in a postcard store is stopping my sales. I don't think so. I used to have print ads. I used to have photographs. I still have them today. If I find stuff at an auction, I'll put it in there. It sells. It doesn't hurt my sales. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. But that's all I got for today. Check out those Abraham Lincoln postcards. If you got any really cool ones that you've sold, I'm still filling up my bucket for the next show and tell. Send it in to contact@SMPostcards.com. Put show and tell on there. Give me a little story about it, some pictures, or just a photo of the postcard. And if you got an eBay store or a website, put that in there, and I can call that out. So, but just send that in, it'd be great. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.